But what do you think the chances of, because the thing with Puffy started off as being a lawsuit, and then he settled that lawsuit with Cassie, and then here we go. What are the chances of that happening in this case with Jay Z? What are those chances? What do you think? Do you think? I mean, do you think it happened? That's the big question. I think the biggest problem Jay Z has right now is there's a million pictures of him and Puffy together. A million pictures. It's going to be hard to get past that. And I mean, this machine that's doing what it's doing, like doing what it's doing to him. You see what it's been like for the last couple of days. I mean, you go online and Jay Z, Jay Z, Jay Z, and again, I don't, maybe it's by design, the fact that nobody is pointing, really stressing the fact that he's not charged with a crime. He's been it's been alleged to have committed crime, and they're seeking civil damages, just like in his response. Wanted to know why. He implores the person to file criminal charges. No. Listen, if you're in there watching, share this live. Come on now. Share the live, share the love. In the comment section, let me know where you are looking from, where you're checking in from, what city, what state. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. God's gift, what's good? What's your? I see you guys popping in, popping out. You think Jay-Z gonna be charged? You think it's gonna rise to that? You know what I mean? Because that was the argument when the lawsuit started dropping on Puffy. And is this a coordinated effort to take down black men? Because remember, it wasn't too long ago these guys had the Billionaire Club. Remember that? It was the Billionaire Boys. I mean, it was, black billionaires, and Puffy made this speech. So it's gonna be really, really hard at this point right now for Diddy, for Jay-Z to separate himself, because this picture that I have up on the screen on YouTube, and you guys can go over on YouTube. The guys on TikTok, please go follow me on YouTube. Andrews, the podcast, over on TikTok. We're gonna be changing that name, making it a lot simpler. But these pictures are hard to get away from. Hard. It's hard to get away from these pictures. I mean, there's millions of pictures. I ain't say millions, but there's thousands, hundreds of pictures of Puff Daddy and Jay-Z together. And what's crazy, man, this is why celebrity worship is bad all the way around. Remember, LeBron James said, "Ain't no party like a Diddy party." Now, if something happened with the police, some quote unquote unarmed black man was killed, you would get the social commentary of all of these entertainers and athletes and what they thought and how racist America is and all this other stuff. But ain't no party like a Diddy party, and we've heard nothing about anything from LeBron. I'm not saying that you should condemn your buddy. I guess you are buddies or friends with Puff Daddy and that crew. But on other situations that haven't been adjudicated in court, you offer your, you know, celebrity opinion. I mean, just to say, if these allegations are true, this is awful. No, we get none of that from you guys. What we get, Bronny James. But it's going to be very hard for Jay-Z, Sean Carter, who that's the name they're using in the indictment, to separate himself from one Puff Daddy, Daddy Love, whatever he's calling himself now at this point. He's going to have to pull a hell of a job to separate himself now from that, because in the court of public opinion, and again, it is key to point out the fact that Jay-Z has not been charged with a crime. In fact, he's imploring the lawyer and the alleged victim to file criminal charges against him. Now, I don't know if they're saying that knowing that there's a statute of limitation, and if anybody where this case were filed at, is there a statute of limitation on crimes like this? I mean, there may be a statute of limitation, but there's some kind of workaround that they can, bring into play to get people charged. Should have took the Russell Simmons route, Jay-Z. And he said some key things in there because his daughter is at an age now, like he said, where her friends are definitely going to be watching and they're going to be saying things to the children. So now he and Beyonce, um, Hove and B, Bonnie and Clyde, are going to have to now sit down and explain to their daughter, who is, how old is Blue Ivy? Let's look that up real fast. I don't want to misquote the young lady's age. Look that up really fast here. Let's see here. B I Blue Ivy Carter. Got her on Google. 12 years old. Ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I mean, it's bad that he's being charged with this, and his daughter's gonna. I mean, because they of course they are the high profile couple. They are the Hove and B, um, the couple that people were modeling their relationship after, on or by. And so now he's gonna have to. Jay-Z is. And this is what he said in his complaint. I mean, excuse me, in his response to the lawsuit through his lawyer. Jay-Z's saying that, talking about watching the death of innocence, the innocence of his child. Young lady on the screen right there, Blue Ivy, who's 12 years old. And what's crazy is that he's being accused of graping child 1 year older than his daughter. You know who's probably really funny to watch right now? That's going to be none other than Mr. I was just trying to sell Reasonable Doubt and didn't get what I thought I was supposed to get for it. Dame Dash. It's one thing to go away broke and free than to be stuck rich and trapped. So in the lawsuit, Jay-Z says that in the response to the lawsuit, Jay-Z says that it is unfortunate that he and his wife again are going to have to sit down and explain the crew to how evil people are. And I would think that they've had this conversation with her, maybe not in detail about, people and just because I think I don't know, that's a child. So I don't know. But now he's saying that they're going to have to sit down and have that conversation with that child. Thank you, Heather. About what Papa Jay-Z allegedly done back in the day. Now, who's to say that that child won't be permanently mentally scarred by this whole? I mean, just that conversation, the idea of I think a lot of that is going to depend on the what kind of relationship that he actually has with his daughter. But it's a cruel world, cruel world. But then on the other side, again, I'm not a victim blamer, but in these cases like this, you gotta ask questions. You gotta, what took so long, And I had people say, "Oh, the shame of this and that," and I can I hear you, but you know, will this turn out the same way? Because a lot of people got to telling me back when um, Puffy when the lawsuit started to drop against Puffy, Puffy's got too much money. He'll never be charged. He's a billionaire. You know what I mean? Puffy ain't. Da, 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 da. He's got. And guess what happened? Look where we are now. Again, because of the legal system that we live under, he is innocent until proven guilty. And I must say again, for the record, Jay-Z has not been officially charged with a crime. In fact, he's asking the people who suing him to file criminal charges. Now, I don't know if he's saying that because maybe there's a statute of limitation on what he's being charged with, but it's just really strange. Really strange. Really strange. I wonder if Puff like Playboy. You know, because what do you think about the idea that? Think about this now. This lawsuit's been out there for a minute, and for a good while, all of us knew that Puffy was in the lawsuit, of course, but we also knew that there were two unnamed people in this lawsuit. And the notion that they withheld Jay-Z's name to apply pressure to him to give him a chance to go ahead and cash out, pay, just pay, basically be extorted, and that way his name would never be revealed as being part of the lawsuit. That's his position, and that he's not going to give them one red penny, this and that. But again, he's being accused, he's being alleged to have raped a 13-year-old child. And so, given, he's a family man. Now, whoever wrote that statement for him, Jay-Z didn't write that statement because the person got a little too crazy with it when they started talking about uh, honorable drug dealer from Brooklyn. I didn't say that per se, but about being honorable and they don't do that with kids. And Jay-Z, you are on record calling yourself a drug dealer, bro. And I've been in that world. There's nothing honorable about that. Period. What are you checking IDs before you sell dope, or you know what I mean? And I get it, what you're saying, but whoever wrote that it wasn't him. The whole thing now is he's not that guy from Brooklyn anymore. He is a family man. And that all that can be true. All this can be 100%. But man, I'd hate to have that. I would hate to have that conversation with my daughter, but I guess that's the price of fame that you pay. And these celebrity kids, they think so differently. So you don't know how this is gonna act. You know what I mean? I mean, you don't know how to act. You don't know how this will play out. So let me check something here. Hey Heather, listen, whatever. I'm new over here on TikTok or whatever. So please follow me. I am gonna build this out. I am on YouTube. I am also on Facebook. Thank you for the follow. And as soon as I open this up on my computer and get the stream key, I'm going to be streaming uh, from this whole setup thing that I got going on here. But listen, I enjoy you again. I'll have better topics to talk about again. I'm just trying to get past these qualifications that um, TikTok have on it, so that I can add a panel and we can get into some of these good panel discussions that I've been listening to on TikTok. I do like that platform, even though sometimes people get the problem that I have sometimes with the platforms, and with when I get my platform set up, it'll be a place where people can express themselves. Now, when I mean express themselves, it won't be all that cutting each other off. I mean, you can disagree, but have the ability to articulate yourself in a complete thought, and then have the discipline to sit and listen to somebody else's answer and then answer afterward, not cutting people off whenever you feel like your argument's starting to lose ground or whatever the case may be. But yeah, that's what we're going to do over here. So again, I'm about to check out of here, and I'll check back in with you later. Again, thank you for the follow. Thank you for good job. I'm heading to bed now. All right. You have a good night, sweetie. Peace to ya. Boom, 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 boom.
Road, a try. I took the quiz online, and my shade came back as cinnamon.
Jay Z. What are those chances? What do you think? And I mean, this machine that's doing what it's doing, like doing what it's doing to him. You see what it's been like for the last couple of days. I mean, you put. All right, so we are still here live, and I put Jay Z is stopped. That's not the title. The title's not Jay Z is stopped. Jay Z is. What did I want to say there? Edit that thing in there. Edit that. I mean, what are the realistic chances that? I mean, how realistic is this? How realistic is download? I mean, how far fetched is it to think that Jay Z wouldn't do what he's alleged to do? He's not charged, officially charged as far as criminally, but he's in a civil lawsuit. But given the fact that he's done an album with R. Kelly, The Best of Both Worlds, remember that album? And he will forever and ever be linked to this man right here through these different pictures. And this was back a while. Jay Z got a whole head full of dreads at this point right now. What are the chances that if let's just R. Kelly has been found guilty, so we can say he's guilty, and Puff Daddy's being held right now. Let's just say hypothetically, Puff Daddy is guilty also of what they say he did. What are the chances, given the relationship that Jay Z got with these two people, that he was not involved in any of this stuff? What are the chances of that being a possibility? And I've heard it, Jay Z's a billionaire. He blah 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 blah. Heard it. Sunshine Anderson. Heard it all before. So who moves into the roles now? Now the two top rap moguls are stuck in legal conundrums. 50? Do you think they got anything in the bag on 50? You think they got any secrets on 5th? Just curious. Just curious. If you're around my age, you remember Arsenio Hall pretty well. It's just one of them things that make you go, just like this right here.